The Frazee School Board met in special session last week and now have formally offered Frazee Superintendent Darren Stender a buyout agreement. About a month ago, they kind of went down this route, offered the buyout, then withdrew it. But now the buyout's official. And according to the people I've talked to, because I didn't attend the school board meeting myself, but did speak with several people who did, it was a very hostile meeting, but an open meeting where a lot of people got to express their opinions. But the gist of the meeting came down to this: a 4-3 vote to offer Superintendent Darren Stender a buyout of his contract, which begins a 3-year contract, the first year of that 3-year contract next year, at $377,000, plus some of the retirement money he'd be owed. That's an awful lot of taxpayer money to buy somebody out. Now, I mentioned it was a 4-3 vote, with board members Dana Laney, Keith Janu, and Jim Nelson voting against the buyout offer, and Matt Bauer, Steve Jepson, Rich Ziegler, and Kenny Fett voting in favor of the buyout offer. Now, when they're on the verge of a vote for an operating referendum for the school district, which they're going to be holding committee meetings on very soon to discuss that option with the public, I'd have a tough time voting for that operating referendum, knowing that almost $1/3 of $1 million was spent to buy out an employee that would no longer be there. Now, some will say the old board is the one that signed him to that deal, and this new board has different ideas. Some will say that if Frazee Superintendent Darren Stender stays, they'll have no chance of passing another operating referendum. Some say if they let him accept this $377,000 buyout, they'll have no chance to pass it now. So it seems like the district is once again in a very, very tough spot. But there's no doubt by this large contract offer from the Frazee School Board that they are more interested in removing Darren Stender than they are right now about the fiscal responsibilities of the district. Me personally, I think Darren Stender would have probably looked for another job sooner than later. He has interviewed before for other positions. Why not let him work a couple more years or another year and find another job? Unless you truly believe that him being there is so volatile to the school district that it couldn't withstand another year. Therefore, $377,000 feels like a drop in the bucket, even though I think you'd be hard-pressed to probably find a home in Frazee that's even $377,000, let alone have that be the amount of money to buy out the superintendent. We'll have to see if the superintendent officially accepts this buyout offer. He has a couple weeks, and even after he does sign the buyout offer, if he agrees to, he would still have 16 days to withdraw the offer at that point. Now, as of this point, the school board has not released any official documentation saying why they decided to offer Superintendent Darren Stender this buyout. However, some of the things discussed at the meeting from people that I talked to focused a lot to do on just overall image of the school district and the lack of student enrollment over the last year. Since the beginning of the school year, the enrollment has dropped, as most school districts do have the enrollment drop, but Frazee has dropped quite a bit. And over the last 6 years, enrollment has been down. There is a number of factors that have to do with that, but at this point, maybe they feel a changing of the guard might help stabilize the enrollment and may help get a new operating referendum passed, or at least the one they currently have extended. Every school district is struggling in the state of Minnesota. Every dollar really is critical to the school district's survival. And while I don't know if many residents are so upset over the actual offering of a buyout to Superintendent Stender because of a lot of issues that have been going on in the Frazee community and in that school district for the last few years, I think many of them are sticker shocked to see the exact total in which the school board is willing to spend in order to get rid of Superintendent Darren Stender. It'll be interesting to see how this ends up in the end. But one thing I know for sure, school districts can't just throw money around willy-nilly. So if you're really behind this, I truly hope you're on the right side and you believe what you are doing is right.